Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start the snake and the mirror. Before starting this chapter, I'll ask you certain questions. Do you like to look at yourself in the mirror? What do you think about at such times? So, dear children, tell me, do you like to look into the mirror? And if you look into the mirror, what do you see at that time? Have you ever seen a dog, a cat, or a bird look into a mirror? What do you think it sees? See, we human beings can have our own views about watching ourselves, viewing ourselves in mirror. But what about the cat, dogs, and any other creature? If they are looking into the mirror, what they must be seeing? Now read this humorous story about a doctor, a snake, and a mirror. So, dear children, in this story we will see. This is a sort of hint for you. In this story, there is a snake, there is a mirror, there is a doctor as well. Let's start it. Has a snake ever coiled itself around any part of your body? A full-blooded cobra. All of us fell silent. See, have you ever encountered with a cobra? A full-blooded cobra. Around your body, it sat on you. So, everybody will fell silent. The terror can be felt even in imagination. The question came from the homeopath. The topic came up when we are discussing snakes. We listened attentively as the doctor continued with his tale. See, it's a psychological question even. When this topic came up, when we are discussing snakes, so what happened? Almost everybody's feelings are similar. It was a hot summer night. Now, doctor's story started. It was a hot summer night, about 10 o'clock. I had my meal at the restaurant and returned to my room. The doctor is the narrator here, and he is saying that it was 10 o'clock of summer night, and generally snakes are coming up in summer season, rainy or summer season. And he had taken his dinner from restaurant and he came back to his room. I heard a noise from above as I opened the door. The sound was a familiar one. One could say that the rats and I shared the room. When I entered into the room, I heard a very common familiar sound. That rats were making those sound. Even one can say, he says in a humorous way, that I was sharing the room with the rats. So he was living there and the rats were also living there. I took out my box of matches and lighted the kerosene lamp on the table. So those time electricity was not there, or electric bulb was not there. So he lit the lamp, kerosene lamp, for light. The house was not electrified. It was a small rented room. No electricity supply was there in the house, and it was the rented room by the doctor. I had just set up medical practice and my earnings were meager, meaning very less. He had initially started his doctor practice, medical practice. So he was not able to afford a big and comfortable, luxurious room. That is why he had rented this small and less basic amenities room. I had about 60 rupees in my suitcase. Along with some shirts and dhotis, I also possessed, meaning belonged, one solitary black coat which I was then wearing. He said that I was not very rich. I had 60 rupees in my suitcase, some shirts and some dhotis were there, and I had one black coat, only one coat, and that coat he was wearing at that time. I took off my black coat, white shirt and not so white vest and hung them. I opened the two windows in the room. I was an outer room. It was an outer room with one wall facing the open yard. It had a tiled roof with long supporting gables that rested on the beam over the wall. There was no ceiling. There was a regular traffic of rats to and fro from the beam. I made my bed and pulled it close to the wall. I lay down, but I could not sleep. I got up and went out of the veranda for a little air, but the wind god seemed to have taken time off. See, he has discussed all the surroundings. It was a very hot night. He took out his coat and he wanted to get some fresh air. That is why he removed his coat. He came in veranda for a minute to get wind, but no wind was there. Wind god seemed to rest. It means he, in a humorous way it was said, no wind was blowing. I went back into the room and sat down on the chair. I opened the box beneath the table and took out a book, the Metria Medica, because he was unable to feel sleep and that was too hot to sleep. So he did not sleep, but he opened one book on medical and he started reading. I opened it at the table on which stood the lamp and a large mirror. A small comb lay beside the mirror. So he opened the book. There in front of him, mirror was kept and a small comb was also kept near the mirror. He must be using that comb. One feels tempted, meaning greedy, to look into a mirror when it is near one. I took a look. In those days, I was a great admirer, meaning praiser of beauty, and I believed in making myself look handsome. He said that if mirror is kept, then generally people are tempted to look into the mirror. And at those time when he was young, that is this story was of that time. So he always believed that to make himself handsome. And what we do to make ourselves handsome when we are looking into the mirror, generally we started working on hairstyle. I was unmarried and I was a doctor. I felt I had to make my presence felt. He was bachelor, and to get a good match, he wanted to look pleasant all the time. He wanted to look handsome all the time, and for that he wanted to make his presence felt. I picked up the comb and ran it through my hair and adjusted the parting so that it looked straight and neat. Again I heard that sound from above. He started making his hairstyle. He started parting his hair. Suddenly that sound, that peculiar sound, what he was thinking was of rats, he heard it once again. I took a close look at my face in the mirror. I made an important decision. I would shave daily and grow a thin mustache to look more handsome. When he was looking himself into the mirror, he took two decisions. First of all, he would shave daily and he would grow thin mustache to look more handsome. I was after all a bachelor and a doctor. He wanted to look handsome, smart, because first he was a doctor, second he was a bachelor, he wanted to get a good match. I looked into the mirror and smiled. It was an attractive smile. By making these decisions about thinking about his marriage, a sort of a smile came on his face, and it was a very attractive smile. He was looking smart enough. I made another earth-shaking decision. I would always keep that attractive smile on my face to look more handsome. As already his intention was clear, he wanted to make his presence felt. That is why he made his face more presentable. He wanted to smile all the time. I was after all a bachelor and a doctor too on top of it, because he wanted to be very smart, because first he was a bachelor, second he was a doctor. Humorously, this thing is repeated again and again. Again came that noise from above. Again that noise came, which he was continuously hearing. This is the third time that noise is mentioned in this story. I got up, paced up and down the room. Then another lovely thought struck me. I would marry. I would get married to a woman doctor who had plenty of money and a good medical practice. Then again he just started searching for that sound. He just took some walk in the room. Then that another idea came in his mind that he would marry with a very girl of a doctor, and he should have lot of money. He wanted to get married with a doctor who had good practice and lot of money. She had to be fat for a valid reason. Generally, people wanted to get married with thin girls, but his decision was to get married with a fat girl. There is a reason behind it. If I made some silly mistake and needed to run away, she should not be able to run after me and catch me. The reason is also very humorous, that if he would do any mistake in his life and he had to run away, so that girl would not follow her. This was the funny reason.